No, I don't. It's not that I don't have faith. I got the numbers. 175
Hi.
and 90.
Hey guys, it's Priscilla Torres here. We're continuing our weather coverage with our KRIS 6 News weather team. We've got more viewer concerns today about what's going on with Harvey. For that, we want to bring in our meteorologist, Dale Nelson. But we also want to remind you, as we go along with the latest updates, please keep posting your questions on the comment section so that we could probably get Dale to answer some of those for you.
All right, yeah, Priscilla, thank you for doing this. And I just wanted to get everybody aware that we are doing a Facebook Live here. All the information that we have here and more will be coming up at 5 o'clock with our entire KRIS 6 News team, and of course meteorologist Juan Acuna. We'll have another full update at 6, and you really need to make sure you don't listen to rumors. Do something. Make sure you take action. Now is the time to take action, and that means just to prepare for a strong tropical storm making landfall here. Everybody's situation is different. Some people may need prescriptions, some may not. Some may need cash, some may not, and so forth. So that is the situation. And again, everybody's is different. There's been a lot of questions about boarding up. And again, if you live on the island, that might not be such a bad idea, as the winds there could easily gust to 75 miles an hour. That's why we have a hurricane watch in effect, because hurricane conditions are possible in the watch area. This is Tropical Depression Harvey. Remember, it was just a wave yesterday. It's becoming better organized. And as it moves away from the Yucatan Peninsula and to the northwest, this area in the upper atmosphere has no wind shear, unlike previous storms that have entered this area. And so what we're seeing is that this is going to develop into a tropical storm, and the Hurricane Center thinks that it may become a minimal hurricane, hence the hurricane watch in effect along the entire coastal bend from Port Mansfield through Corpus Christi all the way up to San Luis Pass. So that is what's going on with the tropical satellite. 35 mile an hour winds. It's only moving at 2 miles an hour. Yesterday at this time it was 15. So that slow movement right there is exactly what's going on with the development. The slower it moves, the more likely that's an inflection point where it's gathering more energy from these warm, moist tropical waters. So here's the hurricane watch. Includes everybody in the coastal bend, and you should be vigilant. The closer you live to the coast, obviously the worse it's going to be. The further inland, the less of a problem it'll be, including the winds. And storm surge will not be inland. Storm surge will be just along the immediate coast. There's a storm surge watch, means that there is life-threatening inundation levels possible within the area in the next 48 hours. And we're talking about 4 to 6 feet above ground level. So that's about this high on me along the coast. That's what the Hurricane Center is saying, and we have no reason to disagree with that whatsoever. So that's the situation there with the storm surge. This is the track of the storm. Again, it's a tropical depression now, but expected to become a storm. That would be later tonight with 45 mile an hour winds. Then on Friday at 1 a.m., 60 mile an hour winds. Friday at 7 p.m., close to Corpus Christi, and 70 mile an hour winds. And then inland after that with 60 mile an hour winds Saturday afternoon. And there's a lot of uncertainty about it stalling here and exactly how much rain would happen after that. But ahead of it, we're going to see quite a bit along that path north and east. That's up towards Houston. And south and west, the further west you go, every 10, 15 miles, the less there will be. So that is what we're looking at along this path. It looks like Corpus Christi is pretty much going to be on a direct hit from this, perhaps a little bit north and east of, past just a little bit north and east of us. So here's the models. This is what the models are saying. The one I like best is the TVCN, and it's headed right for us. And again, there's not a lot of wind shear in the upper atmosphere. So we'll move through this quickly, and I'll show you a couple more graphics. This one right here is indicating the fact that this is going to stall out. The stalling process means this is going to unload a lot of rain, and that rainfall obviously is something that could be very, very significant because of this front is trapping the moisture to the north. So that the front is trapping it. Once this moves by, we'll actually see a cold front move through here early next week. But before that, we're going to experience a lot of rain as this comes up to meet it. And so here it is on the water vapor imagery. You can see the moisture increasing to our east-southeast out in the Gulf. That's going to be heading this way as that low moves up in this direction. Here it is on the upper air map, and you can see it right here. And again, moving into the coastal bend and just kind of sitting here. This is Saturday at 5 o'clock. here we are on Monday, and it's still over us. So we could see rain not only Friday during the day, starting first thing in the morning, but then heavy here Friday night with the landfall and into Saturday, and then a break perhaps Saturday night into Sunday, and then picking up again late Sunday into Monday because that low is still hanging around. Here's a general idea on the future tracker. Again, we're just talking about a stray shower tomorrow, so you still have time to do preparations at your home. And again, what are the preparations? That's picking up loose objects, making sure everything is secure. You don't want to have things flying around. We're talking about winds here in Corpus Christi of maybe 50 miles an hour. They could be higher than that as you go out to the island, a little lower than that as you go inland. There's also a possibility of tornadoes on and near that path. The rainfall, again, looks to be heavy. This is by Saturday at 12:30. I think that's kind of skipped by us, but let me try that one more time. And you'll see here going into tonight and tomorrow, and then watch what happens. Here comes the storm, and it comes very close to us. The heavy rain starting around daybreak on the coast and then pushing inland during the course of the day. So Friday's going to be very wet, and it's still going to be wet here on Saturday before we get a break, and then the rain comes back. So that is what's going on. The intensity guidance shows this as a tropical storm or a minimal hurricane. Most of the models are saying in this area here a tropical storm, so that is better than a hurricane. But again, the Hurricane Center thinking is we're going to overwarn a little bit, and so they've issued a hurricane watch in case it does pop up to that status. It's going to be awfully close. And then the other thing about this is that Friday evening is the landfall, the intensity 45 to 75 miles an hour, rainfall 4 to 8 inches. Again, this is going to be all over the place because of that stalling that's going to take place after it, but generally 4 to 8 inches on the coast, less inland. Less inland, places like Alice, maybe Hebronville down that way may not see more than 1/4 of an inch out of this. So some areas are going to get inundated and flood, and some will not from this system. The winds, they're going to pick up. Obviously, they're still going to be light overnight and during the day tomorrow. And I have one more graphic I wanted to show you. I guess we don't have it in here, but the rainfall amounts. It's on our Facebook page, and we'll be posting it again throughout the night. But the bottom line is don't panic. Don't listen to rumors. Get the facts. We're going to have a storm to deal with. The name is Harvey. The threat is real, and it's headed this way. So keep it on KRIS 6, and we'll continue to keep you informed with everything you need to know. But make sure the most important thing you do is put Facebook down, put your phone down, and go do something. Make sure you have your supplies for this tropical storm that's going to produce a lot of rain over at least portions of the area. Keep it here on KRIS 6. Meteorologist Juan Acuna will be up at 5 o'clock with the latest.